Hi everybody, I'm Justin Hayes from the Youngstown Sailing Foundation. Today we want to do a quick how-to video about renting out our Ideal 18s through the boat club. The first thing we want to talk about is how to apply for the boat club. You can go to the About YYC section at yyc.org and scroll down to the Members Only tab. And when you click on there, there will be an application that is done online. It's super simple, takes less than 2 minutes. That will then get forwarded over to VC Fleet Adam Burns, who will get back to you as soon as possible with the go-ahead. Once you're in the boat club, we want to talk about how to actually sign out, the sign-out procedures. So also in the members only section, you'll see the boat sign-out. You click on that and you'll be able to select Ideal 18 1, 2, 3, or 4. And then choose a 2-hour time slot. We also have the Catalina 30 that's available in 2-hour time slots as well. So that can all be done on the members only section. Once you have a time slot and a boat, the next step is to actually come down here at your time, and we have packets available in the launch shed, okay? You'll grab the packet that corresponds to the boat that you signed out and the labeled VHF radio. Those are on the back wall of our launch shed in a milk cart. So once you grab that, you're ready to go. Check in with the launch driver, let him know what boat you're taking out and what time you plan on returning. And then the next step is to make sure that you have life jackets for everyone on board. We recommend bringing your own life jacket, but if you don't have one, we do have a couple that we can provide for you that will also be in the launch shed. So once you have all those things, we can head over to the boats, which are located in Fairbanks Harbor. Okay, once you get to your boat, you can take your packet, which is it's called a guidance document that has basically all the things that you need to do before you go sailing, a little rigging guide, and it's got what to do as you're returning to the harbor. Also in this packet is a map of the sailing area, which will be basically our half of the river down south end of the mooring field and up into the bay. So that's all outlined in your packet. Your VHF radio, you can turn that on to channel 6/8, and these can get stored down in your spinnaker bag here. Okay, so once that's all set to go, you're monitoring channel 68. You'll notice that each boat also has an emergency card here. This has numbers that you can call, cell phone numbers, VHF radios, as well as other emergency procedures, all listed on this document that's inside of the spinnaker bag. So take a look at that before you go sailing as well, so you're familiar. The idea behind these boats is that they can be up and sailed within a couple of minutes, so we'll go over how to do that. The first thing is our jib sock, which is located up forward and goes up with the spinnaker halyard. Okay, so the spinnaker halyard can get released. Unzip, unzip. Once it's all taken apart, this gets clipped onto the mast ring, and you can stow your jib sock up forward in the boat. This just gets stuffed up into the bow. Next, your mainsail cover. Standard mainsail cover, and once it's unclipped, that can also get rolled up and stuffed up forward in the boat. Next, you take off your sail ties. We've got our main halyard, which is holding up the boom back here. Unclip your main halyard and set the boom off to the side on top of the gunnels and attach it to the head of the main. Once you're out sailing, our main halyard is located at the base of the mast here, and it's very helpful on these boats that when you are raising the main, you make sure that your vang is all the way off, your Cunningham is all the way off, and your main sheet is all the way released, and you're into the wind. The main is on slugs, and as long as you give it a good tug and you're into the wind, it should be pretty easy to get that main up. The last thing you need to do before you leave the harbor is you need to unclip your tiller tie down, which is on these clips here, that also can get stowed up forward. The nice thing about these boats and exiting the harbor is that they will actually scull in reverse because the tiller turns all the way around. So let's take a look at how that would look. The main halyard can get released, set down, and the tiller turns all the way around 360. And once you're disconnected from the dock, simply scull the boat like this and point the tiller to where you want to go to back it out of the harbor. We have our dock lines that are already preset, so there's no need to untie the dock lines from the dock. Simply unclip from the stern, the bow, and our single continuous spring line. If you notice, the spring line is not clipped to the shrouds themselves, but wrapped around the shrouds and connected to itself. Okay, that way there's less chafing, and it goes right around the base of the shrouds like this, and the boat will stay in place just like that. So the boat will only takes just a couple minutes to get going. Okay, when you come back to the dock, everything is basically done in reverse. Clip in first, okay, flake out the mainsail, raise it, put your sail ties back on, your main cover back on. The jib stock goes up exactly in reverse with the spinnaker halyard. Make sure that your jib is rolled all the way up nice and tight. That'll help you to get your jib stock on. And the last thing we want to go over is maybe how the jib is trimmed. So when you unfurl the jib, everything is labeled up here. Simply unclip the furling line, and we've got one continuous jib sheet that goes from the starboard side to the port side. Unroll it by pulling the jib sheet out, and this is a non-overlapping system, so as you tack or jibe through the breeze, this just simply slides back and forth. It's self-tacking, so very easy to sail with kids or beginners. So roll it back up, just keep a little pressure on one, and that'll help you get that jib furled nice and tight by keeping just a little bit of tension on the jib sheet and cleaning the jib furling. When cleaning the boat up, after all of the covers are back on, please coil the lines as best you can and put them back in the spinnaker bag. Okay? The last thing you'll do is make sure that as you're checking out, once you put the boat all away, that you check back in with the launch driver, let them know that you've returned. You can turn your VHF radio off, clip it back onto the milk crate. This also goes back into the milk crate, and please plug in the VHF radio so that it's charged up for the next person. So that should be it for our Ideal 18 how-to video. If you have any questions, please email myself, head instructor, junior sailing instructor Ryan Suter, or BC Fleet Adam Byrne.